show. If you're looking at the bearded one, that must mean it's Monday night at 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 5 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. out in Hawaii, about 8 a.m. tomorrow in Jakarta, Indonesia, and roughly about 11:30 out in Adelaide, Australia. So welcome everybody to the show. The show is called Stuff I Never Learned from a Schoolbook. If you are here for the first time, welcome to the show. My name is Tom Springer, and I am the host of Stuff I Never Learned from a Schoolbook. If you're a repeat offender, which I know a lot of you are, welcome back. As normal, I do have on an absolutely fantastic guest, and I am lucky enough to have on someone who was on the show before, and she is going to grace us with her presence again, and I'm not going to beat around the bush, so we're just going to go ahead and bring Charli into the fold and let her start talking and say hi to everybody, and she'll get to meet all the new people that we've had come onto the show as well. So, hi, Charli, how you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Good, thanks for coming on. As normal, everyone's popping in. What's up, Kyle? How you doing? Rosie's saying hi. There's Miss Nikki saying hi to you. See, it's great to have you back on here again.
Hello, how are you?
Mr. Stewart is saying hi from Texas. Hi, Kathy. How are you? So this will happen for the next few minutes, as you know. People will pop in and say hi, and I'll just wave at them and everything else. Hi, Jolene. So as I stated before, I kind of tell people either how I met you or whatever else. So I have had you on my show before, and we have talked, and a lot of people do not. I know this from experience now, since I've been doing this for a little over a year now. A lot of people will see my intro of you and I side by side on the image, but they won't read the intro that I actually wrote up. So everybody, this is Charli. She is an amazing person. And if you would, please reintroduce yourself to the people who don't know who you are. And same as normal, please let them know what you do and basically how you got started into what you're doing.
Oh, okay. So I am Charli. I am a shamanic master mentor. I also specialize, I guess you could say specialize. I don't know. How would you say that? I don't even know. My niche, maybe that's it. My niche is I work with heavy energies. I am a trained demonologist. Yeah, that's pretty much me in a nutshell.
Yeah.
That's me in a nutshell. I had a pretty significant accident when I was 18 years old. I had a head injury. I was clinically dead for over 6 minutes. When I came to, I could see and hear spirit. And that's really what kind of started me off on this path. Took me a long time to get where I'm at.
I'm shaking my head because the way you described that, I know Nikki in our head instantly went to the show Ghosts. If you've ever seen it on TV yet, it's a comedy, and it's a lady who dies for a little bit. And when she comes back, she can actually see the spirits in her house. So.
Oh, okay. No, I'm not. You know what? I'm so out of the loop with everything because people talk about shows, but I'm not a TV buff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand that.
I'm a book nerd. Give me a book and I'll tell you for sure if I've seen it or not.
I just know when you said that you were clinically dead for 6 minutes, and when you came out, you were able to do that. That's instantly what I thought of, because that's what the show, it's a comedy, but it's based off of the fact that she inherits a piece of property from her, for people who passed. When she comes back and comes home, she's able to see all the spirits who are living in the house and are basically amazed that new people live in the house. So it's so entertained by it. But yeah, sorry.
It sounds like a show that my girlfriend had said, "Oh, you should see this." I'm pretty sure.
It's pretty funny.
Sure.
Yeah. Nikki is pointing out that you actually have a new website since you had it on last. So everybody, we always do this all the time. I'll just do this right now, and then I'll go ahead and copy and paste it.
Oh,
so
wait.
Start talking.
It's www.theshamanicpaths.com.
I will. I will tell you that I can type this in as the shamanicpaths.com
Okay.
and it pops up because I'm looking at it right now.
Perfect. Thank
So,
you. You're the best.
I always troubleshoot before I post.
You're the best.
But yes, we can put this on there and it's perfectly fine because I'm looking at it right now.
Okay.
But so as people know, I always try to post the person who is on their site because as you talk, they're going to be like, well, where can I find out more about this person? Ta-da, right there. So, and I will also grab it and I will do like I normally do, and I will post it into the chat because not only will the people that that we're talking to now, but the people who it's recorded for that will watch it later will also want it, and it will automatically be into the chat for them. So I've just thrown your address into the chat for everybody. So there you go.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Sorry, I got sidetracked. I took you out. Welcome to more squirrel moments than you remember last time. It's just going to happen. So, but yeah, so you were saying that you came to and you were able to all of a sudden interact with spirit.
Yeah. I could not, like, I had no recollection of the 18 years prior. And I could see and hear spirit. And for the longest time, I thought, well, initially, I thought, what is wrong with everyone? Why aren't they seeing what I'm seeing? And then I immediately went into, I'm crazy. I've lost my fucking mind.
Right.
You know, like that was.
I forgot I had you on my show. Stand by 1 second. Okay, now we can go.
That's so bad. You got to post that. Oh my God.
You're not the only one I posted for it. It is literally in my standby notes.
Oh my God. That's so bad. I'm so bad. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
Yeah, I don't know.
Now we're good. Now you can say anything you want. So we're good.
Yeah.
So,
but I did. I thought I was losing my mind.
Yeah.
There was like months that I was seeing a therapist who was trying to help me retrieve memories, you know, help me through that, because it was your mind can open and it will remember, and you just have to give it time. Yeah, it's been like 30 years, bro. It's not happening. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know where it went, but it's gone. It's gone.
At this point, I'm good. Thanks.
Yeah. But anyways, you know, I was seeing him to help retrieve those, and he would like give me ideas on things to do, places to visit to help my mind remember stuff. And I remember I walked in one day and I was sitting there nervous, and I'm like, he's going to put me in a funny farm. I'm going to be in a little jacket that hugs myself forevermore. And I just told him, you know, I think the words I said was, you're probably going to put me away after I say this, but I'm seeing and talking to dead people, and they're telling me how they died. And he was in the middle of writing, and he just stopped writing. Like, this was legitimately, he was in the middle of writing, and then his pen just stopped, and that's the moment I knew it clicked. He's got it. I've got his attention now, you know? And he said, oh, is there anybody in the room right now? And I said, yes, there is, your father. And then I described his father, and I told him what his father said. And I gave him very personal information that there's no way I would know.
Right.
And he looked at me and he said, Charli, you're not crazy. You're sensitive. And I was like, oh, that's the thing. I'm sensitive. I was so excited to get a label for what I wanted.
Yeah, right.
And I was so fortunate to have this man walk into my life. I'm forever grateful, because if it was not for him, I don't know where I would be. He was the first person. I've had a lot of people that have influenced me being where I'm at today, but he was the first. He was absolutely the first. And he gave me recommendations of people that may be able to assist me. And I actually put him in my very first book. I did a shout out and an acknowledgement because if it wasn't for him, who knows where I would be.
Right.
Best freaking guy in the world.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's great.
So that's how I got here.
Well, that's good. That's good. And we're happy you're here. So I do share with my audience a little bit about your page, and I kind of tell them what's on it so they kind of know what they're looking at. So when I go out to your page, it is theshamanicpath.com or www. Either way it works. And you have a bunch of different items up here. You have your homepage, which is I'm on right now. And it kind of gives a brief overview of a lot of the things that they can find within. But then all the other radio buttons are, you have a shop, you have a private services, you have a way to contact you, you have the courses, and you also have the free information. A lot of people don't have a free information button, which is pretty interesting, but you do. And in your free information, you actually explain different categories, which is fantastic. Like the first one I'm looking at are what are the benefits of having a mentor? And then you can see all the courses available. And then you have stuff like how long does it take to become a shaman? Shaman versus Reiki, what's the difference? Why is shamanism gaining such popularity, which is what I'm interested in. And why is it gaining such popularity? We'll talk about that in a second. What's the difference between psychics and mediums? Because a lot of people don't know, guess what? There is a difference. When people say they're a psychic medium, no, you may be one or the other. It does not necessarily mean you are both. And I actually learned that from you, that there is a psychic and there is a medium. I am just one of the lucky ones and whenever I say it, I do not say I'm a psychic medium. I said I am a psychic and medium. Is a difference. And then what is shadow work, which a lot of people don't understand that's very, very important in moving forward in their journey if they want to move forward in their journey. So with all that said, I'm going to go back to the why is shamanism gaining such popularity? Because a lot of people now claim to be a shaman.
Yeah, I know. I know. So I was trained by a Native American man, and I went through what is called your rites of passage. And there are 9 rites of passage. I was taught the old way. Every word, every meditation, that was a class I attended, I was taught orally. Being in his presence was my classroom. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I think a lot of people, I want to be very careful. I'm not knocking anybody's whatever they're doing, but there is a distinct difference. And I think, you deciding one day I'm going to be a shaman and stating that you are without any of the training, that's a little bit different. That's a little bit different, you know, or, I had a dream that I was told I'm a shaman, therefore I am. Not really. It doesn't really work that way.
There goes my hopes.
It doesn't really work that way. I take my job and my role and my title very seriously. It's an honor. It's not a hobby. It's not a pastime or, some fad or whatever. It's a lifestyle. It truly is a lifestyle. There is no, I'm putting on a hat and I am, Charli, the wife and mom. And then I take that hat off and put on the shaman hat. No, I mean, in everything you do, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, absolutely. Absolutely. So why is shamanism gaining such popularity?
I think because people can see through the I'll be careful. I won't swear too much. I'm going to try to them.
It's up there, so you can say all you want. I'll leave it up there. And once I put it up there, you can say whatever. Here, I'll even do it for you. You can say whatever the fuck you want. So there you go.
I think that a lot of people are seeing through the bullshit, the facade, the religion dogma that has really just encased the globe.
Yeah.
You know, and they're no longer adopting the dogmatic belief of their parents simply because it was passed down to them, and they're using critical thinking.
Yeah.
You know, when they're making, I love this. I know everybody is like, oh, this generation. I love this generation. I am here for it, man. I think it's great because they're questioning the hell out of everything and they're using critical thinking. So I'm excited for it. Yeah.
I wish they do it in all their thought processes, but yeah.
I think it's great.
Nikki wants to know, and I know why she's asking. Nikki wants to know, how does one go about finding a person to train them to become a shaman?
I strongly suggest that you can go online. Okay, you can go online. There's going to be millions of them. I suggest you do your research, like Google them, look them up, see how much training they have, what their background is. Make sure that you see referrals, recommendations, that you have a lot of awareness about them. But you can literally, there are so many mentors or teachers out there willing to train you. Quite a few, quite a bit.
Yeah, because and Rosie's hitting it right on the head. And I know this is why Nikki was asking. She said, Tom keeps bringing on these shamans, and he will have at least someone to help him or point him in the right direction. Go get it, Tom. Because I know that I'm still very much interested in looking at shamanism for myself. And that's something that I have. It's still with me. It's still in me saying, this is what you're supposed to be doing. And then doing further research into myself and my legacies of family, with one being Native American and one being Norse. It's very much tied into that. And I believe that both sides of them are trying to tell me you need to go towards shamanism or something to help others.
I don't teach. So, there is Norse shamanism, and I do not teach that. Mine is, I cover 12 different sects because that's what I'm certified in. But it's very, very Native American bent. And I'm very transparent about that. So all of my rituals and everything is.
And that's one of the things I'm trying to figure out is I'm trying to figure out from within what I'm supposed to be following. What do I want to follow? What is because someone I had on before, she was a Peruvian shaman. She was actually in Peru and learned from a shaman out there. There's so many different areas of shamanism you can learn in. And I'm just trying to find the actual calling. And Nikki says that, because in our area, we search shaman, but we get CBD American shaman over here. So it's not quite the same thing as actually finding someone in the local area to assist or try to find someone in the local area. Because I would prefer to find someone, if at all possible, around me that I can have a personal contact with, that I can go to them rather than just strictly online.
I do in person, but like 90% of my clientele is online.
And I will let people know straight up if they're interested and they have a belief that they think shamanism is for them. Your page is fantastic to go look at. Thank you. What is it? What does it offer? What are the steps? What are the steps that you're going to put them through? If you go directly on where it's the shaman training. There is a shaman training on here, and I will tell you what, folks, it is in depth. Let me see if I can bring it up really quick. Where are you at? Oh, shamanic training. Find out more. If I click on this, And she says we made signing up easy, but signing up is the easy part. It really is. Because if you look down, you have to be serious about this.
Yeah.
Because it is a 24-week course.
Mm-hmm.
And there are lots of information in here. And this is what I'm telling you. People have an interest in this and they feel this is their true calling. They can come to your page. And I'm looking at it right now. And it is an entire page of information about what to expect from your course, the cost, dates, times, everything else for the classes, everything you could possibly want to know for an understanding of what it would take to become an actual no shit shaman under your guidance and under your tutelage. It's right here on the page.
Mm-hmm.
And just so people know, when I clicked on it and I said it's a page, I kept scrolling. There's more. It's quite a course, but it would definitely teach you. I mean, they have stuff in here that you have listings such as understanding spirit animals, totems, and their role with shamanic practices. Understanding a shaman's role in transitioning and life review. How to perform a soul retrieval and why shamans are valued in the spirit world. So there's so much in here that you touch on that is not just what people go, I had a dream and I'm a shaman, like you said. There's so much training and practice and understanding that you will learn in this course that if you want to completely go into this type of work or you want to make this your life or a part of your lifestyle, this would be a fantastic place to go for it.
Oh, I appreciate that. But that's why it's so intense. I've had a lot of individuals for, like we were discussing, for Paracon and different festivals. And they're like, hey, Charli, will you do a 3-day mashup of your course? And I'm like, no. You are so hilarious. There's no way. You know what I mean? You can't really touch on. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like in 3 days, I can show you how to, develop a clair, right? If you come and you're like, hey, my clairvoyance is completely blocked. We'll get that going in 3 days, but I'm not going to be able to like initiate you in 3 days. That's not a thing, friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Nikki also says that you do past life regressions.
Yeah.
So she says, I will save up for this. I know right now she says someday I will save up for this simply because we are in the holiday season and all of our money is gone. So
I think that's like 90% of people right now.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And see, that's Nikki's calling me. I tell you, people call me out on my own show all the time, and Nikki's the biggest defender. She's like, Tom has to get to the point he can't be lazy and has to work at his abilities. It's true. I am still very lazy. I have always been lazy. I am self-proclaimed lazy. When it comes to working on myself, I don't meditate. I don't do a lot of the things that I'm told to do. And it's because I'm lazy.
No. Okay. So this is where I differ from a lot of people, and that is because of the way I was trained.
Yeah.
I think that for whatever reason, the Western world has bought into the concept of you must meditate for hours and procure this practice. And it's all hogwash. 15 minutes of quality meditative practice is all you need every day. And that's it. That's all you need. You can develop honestly, Tom.
Oh, yeah.
With a good frequency meditative practice, 15 minutes a day in a week, you would see you would fine tune what you're already perceiving. It wouldn't be static. It would be that clear connection, Yeah.
And it's really weird because that's what a lot of people. Yeah, Rosie's saying that we need the spirit to come kick me in the ass to get me going. And then Sylvie's asking, but what if you don't have the motivation to practice?
That's why you have me as your mentor, because I'm the motivation.
Very motivational.
Yeah, I'm extremely motivational.
But no, I completely believe that. I actually had someone, a couple ladies actually come to me 2 different times, and both of them said, you don't need to meditate as much as you think you do. And both of them said, we don't think you need to meditate because your past lives, you've already developed so much of this that you already know what you're doing. You just have to figure out how to refine what you already know. And that's where my laziness sets in. And the thing is, I am not one who can just, I have never been the one who says, okay, I'm going to go ahead and read people in my audience right now. No, I literally need to be challenged when someone goes, well, I don't believe you, and I think you're a sham. And then instantly someone will pop into me and be like, well, then tell them this, and this is who I am. And this, and like, it comes to me when it's needed, not when it's wanted type of thing.
Yeah. So I'm not necessarily agreeing. I think that no matter how many lifetimes you have, right?
Yeah.
Like I can have 30 more lifetimes and spend the entire life developing, and
Right.
I'm still not going to know everything, and I'm still going to need to meditate, not so much because I need to procure, abilities. That's not why you're doing it. You're doing it so you can center your energy and you can balance yourself. That's why you're doing it.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of teachers forget to tell people that.
Yeah, I am so unbalanced. It's incredible.
So it'll take your energy from like being way out here, like your aura way out here, and it'll bring it nice and tight and shaped, and you'll be balanced, and you'll be able to receive information a lot clearer, and your boundaries as far as absorbing information will be a lot better.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I'll have to remember that. Maybe that will push me in the right direction. Sylvie is stating, I think my spirit guides would beg to differ. I used to meditate every morning and night, and they kept on telling me I need to meditate more. So my question then is you telling me, Charli, that I need to meditate for 15 minutes with a certain frequency once a day to kind of hone my skills. Is that more for me, or is that more for...
No, that's any person that comes to me. What I do is I see where your frequency is. And it absolutely depends on each person. Some people will come to me and they will need a higher vibration. I would never start you on a low vibration because you're already exceeded that. Yeah. But it can still help you. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, no, I understand that.
It really depends on where you're at, what frequency that I'll give you. That's really what it is. And that is embedded into those 15-minute meditations. And those two things work in conjunction. So I hope I'm clearer. I'm stating it clearer. So I'm not saying like go onto YouTube and listen for 15 minutes to music,
Makes sense. Yep. That's what... Exactly. And that's what I was going to ask. Is this something so do the meditations at that frequency, at that vibration, does that come from you, or is that something you say, this is a frequency you need to listen to?
No, I supply it. Yeah. Okay.
And that's what I was wondering. How does that work? Is that something like you said? Because YouTube says, hey, this one said at 396 for this, and this one said at 876 for this. This one said, So
I have done a demonstration where I'll actually pick random YouTube's videos where they're saying, this is for the heart.
Right.
Or my favorite is, this is for astral travel. And it's like alpha. I'm like, really? Who the hell is gonna, you know what I mean? So I'll hold my little device up and it will show what the frequency is. And there's no way. I mean, you can put it on a guitar. It'll show you what that frequency is. Right. Yeah. So, and it'll show, it's like, that's alpha. Yeah. I think that there's a lot of really well-meaning, wonderful, beautiful people out there that are posting beautiful compositions. But that doesn't mean that it's the frequency is correct. I think they get hertz mixed up a lot.
And I think that would do.
Yeah.
Nikki has a question, and she says, do you suggest a certain kind of meditation, such as silence, candle, etc., or just what works for each individual? Like, do you have one that you're always like, hey, people should use this, or is it really dependent on the individual?
So in the last year, it does depend on the individual, but I can say in the last year, thank you, COVID. I feel like everybody is very monkey mind, very busy in their mind. So I like to do active meditation. That's my first out of the box. Let's try active meditation. Let's see what you do with that. I think it's very challenging for the majority of people to do quiet meditation because our minds are very active and it wants to know what's happening next. And active meditation seems to be pretty fundamentally easy. And what I mean by that is, you can wash dishes, right?
Right.
You've done it a million times. You can fold clothes.
Movement. It's just something that you're there and you're just kind of mind's wandering.
Yeah.
I do it when I drive to work. Sometimes I won't even turn on music and I'll just drive to work. And I'm just completely empty-minded. I'm just driving to work. And all of a sudden I'm like, good thing my car knows where to go because I sure in hell wasn't paying attention. So
yeah, that's one of the things that's like part of my audio. Do not do this while operating heavy machinery. Like that is not what I mean when I say active. So like sewing, gardening, walking, doing dishes, folding clothes, something that you've done a million times that you could do with your eyes closed.
Right.
So yeah.
Yep. Rosie wants to know, and I don't think it is, it really looks like a large moonstone to me or something, but Rosie wants to know, is that a crystal ball in your background?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's my baby. Yeah. that was a wonderful gift to me. Yeah.
What is it made out of?
Selenite.
Oh, it's a selenite.
Yeah.
That's a big old piece of selenite. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. Yeah. I have this one is pyrite.
Yep.
That's selenite, rose quartz. This is ruby, and bloodstone, and I have all kinds. Yeah.
Yeah, we do too. In fact, I'm sitting here with the green jade puzzle piece.
And then this is my favorite too.
Yeah.
Mahogany obsidian.
Oh,
I love that.
I actually have a huge piece of that. Not that big, but I have a big piece of that too. So, but yeah, so I sit here with my green jade carving. It's a puzzle.
That is beautiful.
And then I also sit here with my little unicorn.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah. That's so funny. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, Rosie says that she does the meditation while she is cleaning her house. Meditation and listening to music and some messages with lyrics.
So lyrics are absolutely going to throw your brain off. So whatever music you're listening to, find a musical composition with no words. And that is because your brain hears the word and it tries to attach meaning to it subconsciously.
Right.
That's just how we're made, right?
Yeah.
So if you find it without any words in it, it's going to serve you so well. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good to know. Because I think subliminally that will throw a lot of people off.
Sure. Your brain is like, oh, they said this.
Right.
And you're trying to find meaning in it.
Yeah. Yeah. Rosie says classical. So classical music. So yeah.
Absolutely. Great. Yep. Great.
Which is funny she says that because behind me over my left shoulder is actually a massage chair that has Bluetooth with speakers built into it. And I've taken to when I sit in it, I actually turn on classical music. And that's all I do is I used to listen to meditation music, but I was like, you know what? For me, it all kinds of sounds the same to me. So I switched off from the meditation music and I just started putting classical music on, and it's actually much better for me, I think.
That's awesome. I'll send you something, Tom.
Okay.
I'll send you something.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. 15 minutes. That's all you need. Just
Hey,
listen to it once a day.
And I'm good with that because the massage chair sets its time for 15. I can turn it up, but normally it sits for 15 minutes. So.
Yeah. And it's super, like, even if you have some kind of fiddling toy. Do you know what I mean? Like the poppets or anything like that, where you're doing something where you feel like you're not, especially you, because you're very, I want to do stuff. I want to go. I want to do.
Yes.
That will keep you
preoccupied. I'm always moving. Even Nikki even laughs at me because I'll be sitting on the couch watching TV and some part, my foot, my whatever is moving. I'm always constantly moving. Even if I'm sitting still, I'm always moving. And I think she stopped sitting on the same couch with me because I would do that. And she's like, "You're moving the couch." And I'm like, "I'm not doing anything." She's, "You're moving your foot again." I'm like, "I'm sorry." So I did it, but I just do it so subconsciously. I don't even think about it. But yeah, I am always moving. Like every time I do the show, my hands are always like, I'm always fiddling with something that you guys can't see.
Yeah.
Below the camera. It's just me. It's just the way I am.
Yeah.
So
it's masculine divine. That's what it is. Masculine divine energy.
Yeah, I just don't know. I just don't know any better. So
yeah, masculine divine energy likes to do, go, go, go. So there's nothing wrong with that, you know.
Yeah, and see, she's again. We'll be sitting in the bleachers at games, and she's rocking because I'm rocking while sitting. Because what we do is we sit on the padded seats. We sit on the padded seats, and I lean back on mine because it has a hook on the front of it, and I'll rock. Mm-hmm. And I'm literally rocking that whole bleacher seat when I'm doing it.
So I get it. So she's rocking because you're rocking.
Yep. So and apparently we're still we're just killing Stuart because he's like all the one-liners he can come back with on a lot of the stuff we say. So yeah. It's an entertaining for Nikki to have to sit on the same platform with me anywhere. Okay, so since the last you and I talked, it was a while ago.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't. Dang it! I'm so mad at myself. I was actually going to grab something out of your message that you sent me and share it with everybody. I think I might be able to do it pretty quickly. So Charlie,
I sent you.
So Charlie, you got to get up and dance for everybody while I grab this really quick. So no, that's right. I can grab it really quick. Now let's see if I can figure out how to do it. I have these wonderful buttons down here that they added all this wonderful stuff, and I just got to figure out how to do it. Let's see if I can do that.
Well, your intro was really cool. How about if I
There we go. Look at that. Right there.
Yeah.
So Charlie happened to go ahead and come out with a new book.
Yeah.
And it's called Self-Love Shadow Work by Charli McBride. And it is available now for everybody. It is on Amazon. And I wanted to bring this up, and thank you for telling me my intro was nice, because that was like I said, it was a new one. But I wanted to bring this up because when I was discussing your page, your shamanic path page, I did bring up shadow work, and the fact that a lot of people don't understand how important it is to move forward with their shadow work. Can you do me a favor? Because I don't know how much, I know a lot of people on here are very logical and very much paying attention to what we're doing. But there's a lot of people who, and have a background in what we're talking about, but there's a lot of people I know who watch me in recordings who may not specifically know what shadow work is.
Okay.
Can you please explain shadow work to them?
So shadow work is a metaphysical phrase that we use, and also clinical phrase that's used in psychology. Think of all the parts of yourself that you dislike, okay? All the things that you dislike about yourself, those are what we call shadows, right? So if you are critical of yourself, and you do not like those parts of yourself, you cannot be whole. You have to always be in agreement and embrace all of your qualities. There is nothing innately or otherwise wrong or bad about you. Nothing.
Right.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And it's understanding that, because we need those polarities, right? We have to have those polarities of self.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, because I know that some people have asked me, what is shadow work? So, and I want them to have an understanding when they're on here, if they're coming in to watch the recording later, or whatever else, or anyone who may be over in the audience next to you that does not know what the explanation is of it. And I can tell them it's the bad parts of themselves that they have to work on and try to adjust and learn just what you said. But it's much better if you tell them, because a lot of people have a tendency to tune me out. So Nikki wants to know, what would you say? This is a two-part question. Is the service you have people sign up most for you or from you? And have you seen a shift of the most popular service that you offer?
So there's two things that are like number one. One is energy removals, adjusting energy, removing heavy energy. That's like my big one, right? And the second one would be shamanic training. So I actually just signed on with a company, and I am training all of their employees in an intuitive approach through shamanism. Wow. So yeah, and that's super exciting, because this is like such a great time for me to be alive and have the opportunity to see the shift happening in the world.
Yeah.
You know, because 20 years ago, this was not a thing. This was absolutely not a thing, you know, and now I'm seeing, you know, hands-on healers in hospitals. I'm seeing, like, I'm literally writing doctor's notes for people, you know, as far as health conditions.
Yeah.
It's just a really fabulous time for me to be observing this shift that's taking place, and for corporations to go, you know what, we would like intuitive training for our staff.
Yeah.
So they can be, you know, better prepared. And it's just fantastic.
Yeah. I've heard of other companies asking for, they set aside like a half an hour or an hour for all of their employees to just either do like a meditative session or just a clearing session, you know, whatever else, just to kind of get rid of the, like, they're getting ready to leave to go home. So they do like a half-hour clearing session for the lead to get rid of all the work anxiety and everything. So when they go home, all that is gone. All that tension and everything else is gone. And they get home, they can enjoy the time with their kids. They're not thinking about the work or anything else. They've helped them kind of clear themselves of that energy. And they're just like, when they go home, they can enjoy it.
We were doing those meditative practices during COVID.
Yeah.
You know, I was providing that service for different companies during COVID, but for them to say, I want all of my staff to be trained, that was just like, holy crap, thank you for allowing me the opportunity to see this take place. Yeah. You know? Because I think we really fought, Tom. Don't you think we really fought and scratched and scraped and clawed our way to legitimacy? You know?
Luckily for me, luckily/unlucky for me, remember, I am very new to my awakening. So I did not see it coming in. I've only been this way for 2 years.
Yeah, I know. But don't you were still observing long before then.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Definitely. I was, and I've, you know, before it used to be not so accepted as it is now. It was seen as something very outside of the norm, or very taboo would probably be a better word for it. But now it's very much accepted in a lot of areas. I mean, if companies are willing to, you know, and even like you said, even medical practices and stuff like that are accepting what a lot of people are saying that aren't doctors, but they can get the information and they can read someone's medical illness in them or whatever else is going on, and they can suggest to the doctor, they can tell that person, hey,
Sure.
go to your doctor and ask them about this. Have them see if they will do this test for you. And all of a sudden, the doctor's like, holy crap, I would have never thought of that. Where'd you get that from? Well,
I know.
So yeah, I had on a while ago, I had on someone, her name is R.L. Foster, and she's actually a doctor, but she's also a spiritual doctor. She does that. And so she was doing that for some people she just said, I don't know who this is for, but I can tell you right now, someone in your audience is having a problem with this. This is what you're going through. Do me a favor. You haven't found a result in like the last 2 years. Go ask them about this. And so she was just doing that. And, she does that all the time, and she gets results from it. And the doctors are willing to accept her recommendations to have people checked. So it's totally different world now compared to where it was.
Yeah.
So much long ago. So,
I have my PhD, but I'm not a doctor. Mine is in metaphysical science. So yeah, no.
Yeah. And Nikki said, we teachers need the training as well. So yes. Yeah, absolutely. Stuart, I was going to ask you this, but Stuart is actually putting in a statement as well. He says heavy energy with a question mark. So he's wanting to know what heavy energy is.
So in Native American belief structure, we do not believe in anything bad or good. There's no such thing. Everything that is created is equal. In Western society, they say, they say negative energy, oh, this is negative. Imagine I walk up to you, Tom, and I say, oh, you have some negative energy like hanging out on your aura. You would be like, oh my gosh, that's horrible, right?
Right.
And that's because Western society has like this dogmatic view of heavy energy. We say heavy. And if I say, hey, you got some heavy energy hanging out on there, do you mind if I remove that? It doesn't sound as horrible.
Right.
For some reason. Right.
But if you understand what it is, it's not as horrible. I mean, it's the word simply negative has a much heavier
connotation.
Connotation than negative than heavy does.
But the reason why we call it heavy is it feels, as a shaman, it feels very heavy.
Right.
Whereas, positive energy feels very light, airy, like cotton candy.
Right.
Yep. And when you're encountering that, what people would call negative, when you're encountering that, that's very heavy energy. Yeah.
Right. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So I have to ask this because since we know that everything is made up of energy, when you deal with spirit or with anything along those lines, can you have a negative spirit? Are they two different meanings compared to?
I don't see anything spiritually. And I get a lot of backlash for this, but there is, to me, every single energy has a purpose. Every single energy, even the ones that people are like, oh my God, still, we have to have polarities, people, as above, so below.
Right.
If y'all want to have angels, what the hell you think else you got to have? You have to have the polarity. You know what I mean?
Yes, it's as simple as the saying, with no evil there can be no good, because because you wouldn't know what to call it. It would all just be stagnant the same.
And every energy has their place, their home, their purpose, and their conditions in which to exist by. As shaman, it's our job to enforce those positions if they're not where they need to be. Yeah.
So outside of the classes, I'm going back to because some of the stuff we're talking about keeps drawing me back to this. But outside of your classes, you actually offer services. You do free, not free, but you do. I saw the tab up there that said free, but you do private readings for different amounts of times. You do private healings. You do a lot of different things out here too. So your course your page is not just for people to take courses, but it's also if they are in need of something or would like something,
Sure.
they can. And the reason I'm saying this is because if people are looking for something, I want to make sure they know that you are an option for them for everything, not just taking classes. But
Yeah.
if they're like, you know what, I really feel like something's going on, I would really like a reading. Like Nikki said, you do past life regression. So there's so many different things out on your page that, and I hope people understand that Charlie's paying me absolutely nothing. None of my guests ever pay me when I do this. But I really believe in allowing, in promoting the guests because you're offering such services that people need. And I know there's a lot of people that I will, just for instance, for shits and giggles, I had someone who I was doing this with. I'd bring up the page and I'd explain the page, and they were like, not for me. But someone they knew, never watched my show, was like, hey, do you know anyone who can do a reading for me? And they're like, oh yeah, I saw this page on the show I watched, and they passed it off to them. So even if they don't need it, at least they know that there's something out there that if someone else asks, they can pass it off to.
Sure.
Which I think is very important because I am still a big believer that word of mouth is the fastest way to get information anywhere.
You know what? I have done zero advertising for my business since I started, and I have a very, very full calendar.
Yeah.
Because of word of mouth. I think that's the best way to do it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. There's just something I think more sincere when somebody says, hey, I recommend this person.
Yeah.
I fundamentally, my clients, my students, they're a reflection of my abilities. If I suck, then I'm not going to have any, right? So, yeah.
But and some people know, some people don't. Yeah, I know, right, Stuart? He's like blabbermouth. Yes, we are. But I love doing this platform. I love the fact that I get the opportunity to bring on guests to share, because you're well known, but not everybody knows you. But this just gives another platform to people to meet you. And I don't bring on just anybody. I bring on people that when a lot of my audience knows this, but those of you who don't, this is how I meet people, quote unquote, meet people. Charli, I met her through another site that we were both kind of a part of at one point, but it was her energy that made me want to go after her more, to meet her, to find out who she was, and to engage with her, and then to finally bring her on my show. You have to have a positive energy that I connect with in order for me to invite you onto my show, because I have to have the belief in you that you're going to be willing, that you're here to help others and not just yourself. And that's how I find my guests. Your energy has to be good with me.
Yeah. And vice versa. You are the only, and you can look this up because I'm not just saying it. You are the only person I have ever returned to.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That means a lot. That absolutely does. But yeah, and Nikki's even reading my mind again. She says, it's so hard to find someone blindly that you can trust to get readings or other services from. Charli is completely one I would trust. She is so amazing and good at what she does.
Oh, thank you.
So there's a lot of people. And no, Stuart, it was not Paranormal Brew. Nice guess, though. But because he's trying to figure out what other site you and I were a part of that where we first met.
Oh, no. No.
Paranormal Brew. I still advertise Paranormal Brew right there. Me and Tanner are still very good friends.
Yeah, she's a doll.
And she lets me. It's funny because I'm actually still an admin on her site.
Are you?
Yeah, and it's funny because all my emails, like if I go out to Facebook or anything else, all my messages will show me everything that Paranormal Brew is gaining or whatever else, who's sending messages. And I keep telling her, I'm not an admin. You sure you want me seeing this? She goes, absolutely. You're part of my family. You do whatever you want on my site. So,
Yeah, Taryn is
yeah.
such a very transparent, down to earth
Yes.
gal.
Yeah.
She's a good girl. Yeah.
My shows get posted directly on Paranormal Brew. I post them for the advertisements.
Oh, really?
Or yeah, she just
Yeah.
allows me to post them all. So
I should see if she would post because I do a podcast where I'm like trying to give free training to people that are developing that couldn't afford
she
it.
absolutely would.
Yeah.
I guarantee she would. Yeah, you might want to reach out to her. She'd absolutely love you to do that because she tells me all the time if you want to post something, go out there and post it. And I know she only allows that for so many people, but she actually likes us. So
yeah. Yeah.
But yes, I bet she would, which would be fantastic for you and for her because it would help her site because it would gain her site people who would be interested in it.
Yeah.
Oh, and I wanted to share with you and with my audience. Thank you, everybody. I just found out earlier this week that I now have 600 people who follow me. So when I started this almost 2 years ago, or actually the show less than that, I never thought I'd even get 100. So so I'm a little over 600 followers. So that's fantastic. So
that's great.
It's growing and growing, and I'm very appreciative to everyone I call my family. My audience is my family, and they know that I always call them my family for sharing information and everything else. But I'm also very appreciative of my guests, just people who come on to keep my show going and sharing the information. Thank you, Jolene. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I love having people like you come on because you're so informative and you're so personable. And I really don't have to do anything for my show. I can literally just say, look, there's Charlie. And then at the end of it, go, hey, everyone, good night. And that would be it. And my show would run itself between the audience and my guests. But I'm too loud and I want to know. I'm too nosy to just sit here quietly. So, but yeah, I mean, so it's fantastic having you come back on. We're not done. I'm just letting you know. We're not shutting it down. I'm just kind of cluing everyone in on how we met and what we do and everything else. Because I have more questions. When you do, and I'm going back to your site because I keep focusing, and this is something Nikki brought up earlier. And I have an interest in it too, but I am somewhat weary and wary. I guess I should take the E out of there. Your past life regression stuff. Mm-hmm. Can you give a quick overview of kind of how that works with you?
Yes, I do it totally different than anybody else. And that's because I only believe in doing something that is going to help and heal that person in some capacity, mentally, physically, emotionally. So when we do past life regression, we are going to visit, depending on how long it takes to get you into that state, anywhere from 3 to 5 past lives.
Okay.
And there absolutely is a theme, and that is, what is the soul lesson that you're here to develop? And these past lives that you have failed to reach that impetus for. You know what I mean?
Right.
So this time you can look at it through that lens and you can see those failures previously and how it's affecting your life today and what can push you forward so you can achieve that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So now my mind just went 9 different directions. Does that also help with when you hear people have generational curses? Would that also help possibly breaking a generational curse that you are possibly set to help break?
So this is my take on curse. I see now you're starting me.
See,
this is my take on curses. You knew I was going to go there, man. You knew I was going to go there.
You're welcome. You're welcome, audience. Get ready for this one.
There's a difference between curses and hexes. Okay. Mm-hmm. If I say, which I would never say, so let's pretend, I don't even want to put myself in that, but let's pretend like somebody says, your you and all the generations after you are going to have big strapping men that are millionaires. How about that? Okay. Now you have a decision to make. And the decision is, are you going to buy into that? Are you going to believe that? Are you going to accept that? Because if you do, congratulations, you are now the owner of that belief system, and you are bringing that into fruition every time that you embrace that concept. So who's cursing who here? Sounds like you're doing it to yourself, right? Yeah. And every time we talk about it in our families, and you're saying, oh, this happened, and these legends or lores are passed down generationally, they adopt it too. So the first thing I would do is like, knock that shit off. Don't ever let anybody have that much power over you. Right. That's number one.
Right.
But like I said, there is a difference between a curse and a hex.
Yep.
So generational curses, yeah, I'd be like, knock that shit off. Take your power back and stop.
Right.
You know? Yeah. So that's how I would handle it.
Right.
Long-winded answer. Sorry.
Oh, no, I was expecting it. I was very well prepared for it. But that, so what, and these are going to be a lot of what if questions, because I need to, my hamster is on that wheel, and it's just going and going. But what if, like, say I am in where I am now, I have no understanding, or I even know that a past generational curse was made.
Mm-hmm. I would remove it.
So it should never even affect me, right? Because I don't even know it's there. So why should it affect me? If I'm supposed to take back what's mine, if I've never even known that it happened in the first place, why would I need to take it back?
So let's say you're in your mom's womb, right? Mm-hmm. Mom buys into it. Mom believes it. You're born. You don't think you're feeding off the energy of mom?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yep.
But that's super easy. It's like breathing to remove. It's nothing.
Yeah.
So
I don't have any.
And there's people that genuinely do not have the belief that they can let this go. Right. You know what I mean? Like they believe
they literally
somebody else must do it. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm happy to do it for you, but isn't it super cool that I can do that? You know what's cooler? You can do that too.
Right.
And that I want to empower people so they understand that you can do it too, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. No, completely understand that. And that's good. That's good for the audience to hear. That's good for anyone to hear. Because I'm of the big belief system of teaching them rather than doing it myself. I may show them how to do it and walk them through it, but I want them to do it. It's the same thing like when we cleared a house, when Nikki and I cleared a house, we staged a house, and I had someone stage her house because she felt there was something in it. And she just wanted to clear it. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, can you come clear my house? I'm like, absolutely. Or I can bring everything with us, and I can walk you through the process of what you need to do to clear your house. So that way, whenever I'm not here, you can do it yourself. And it's kind of the same thing. If you know that you can do it yourself, then why not learn how to do it yourself?
You know, what's really interesting is I teach house clearings, right? Mm-hmm. And I have a lot of practitioners who, have been practicing for quite some time, and they'll say, why are you letting the homeowners, why are you handling it that way? Because I make the homeowners, they are invested, they are involved. And I believe in having them involved, and they should know everything that we're doing.
Right.
And she's like, then why would they ever hire you again? Well, honey, if you're doing your job right, you shouldn't need to be hired again. That should be a non-issue. Yeah. And as shaman, that's what we're here to do. Teach and give information. That is my role. That is my calling. If I'm not doing that, I'm not doing it right.
Right. Yeah. I taught you how to fish. Now it's up to you to put the line in the water. Yeah. So, So, yeah, and like I said, that's my big thing is I'm not. And again, it comes down to I don't want to have to do it to you for you every single time. What?
Yeah.
That's why do you have me keep coming over to keep doing this for you when you can simply do it yourself?
I just think that there's so many people that do not realize their potential or their power or
right.
You know what I mean? Like, don't give it away so easy. Claim that and understand that, you're a piece of this big, huge, grand scheme of life. You have a very important puzzle piece, and you're just as powerful as the next puzzle piece.
Yep. You're not just simply someone sitting up taking up oxygen. You're actually there for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what a lot of people have a hard time understanding. And that's what a lot of people just haven't, I think, realized. But I think you're right with the younger generation. They're starting to realize that, that they're not just here just to breathe the oxygen. They're here to actually have a purpose. And there's more to it. So, what do you?
I was reading the comments here. Those are people that are using their abilities for money and not for the greater purpose.
So she's saying such as people who don't teach others how to do it for themselves.
Yeah.
They want the people to keep coming for them because they want to get paid for it.
Yeah.
And
I don't get that. Like I'm super happy as a shaman, as a healer. I cannot claim the title of a healer if I'm not healing you. If you're coming back, if you're a repeat client that needs healing, I need a new occupation.
Right.
Like I shouldn't have, like I'm still having that back pain. I'm still having kidney issues.
Yeah.
Like, no, obviously I'm not doing something right. I need to find a new occupation if you're coming back every week, That's not a thing.
If you're not healing, all you're doing is pushing the pills. That's it.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah. You're the Band-Aid. So, well, I think that's a pretty good place to wrap it up. We've been going for about an hour, 10 minutes. So
awesome.
I know it goes by really fast.
Yeah, it was super fun. It was great.
Tons of squirrel moments like I've expected.
Yeah.
But yeah, so as always, me, you're one of my faves. So I will be reaching back out to you in a few months to let everything build back up between now and then and have a run of other guests on before I ask you to come back. But I'm gonna ask you to come back. So just be well aware of that.
That's fantastic. I have another book coming out in 4 months. So.
Oh, well, there you go. See that?
Yeah.
Do you have an understanding? Thanks, Sylvie. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Do you have? I mean, it's coming out in 4 months. So obviously, you're already writing it. You're not in the pre-stages of this.
Oh no, it's good.
Can we get a little?
It's quantum manifestation.
Oh,
so it's understanding the
geeky side ninja just went yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's understanding, different manifestation methods. And I love you too. You know what? She's fantastic. Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah.
It's just understanding different the reasons why manifestation is not working for you if you've tried all these different methods.
Yeah.
And I list, I don't know, maybe 15 different ways to manifest. And then I explain why none of these methods, it's kind of like playing the lottery. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, and how to do it in a more effective way and why it's so challenging to get it correctly, why it's so challenging.
Yeah. So I gotta ask another question. See, this is what happens when I ask questions.
Yeah.
Do you explain why one method may work one time but not another time?
Absolutely.
See, ta-da, people. You're welcome for that little bonus tit right there. But before she goes, I got to throw this back up there again. Here you go. The Shamanic Paths right there.com. You can get there right there. And remember, for anybody who is coming in late and you're late in the comment feed, that this is in the very beginning of the comments. This is actually posted to all 3 of the sites that we are watching right now, on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. This is actually posted at the beginning of the the StreamYard feed as well. So you all can go out there and pull this same thing from there and go out and visit her site. So,
and anybody who signs up for the email thing, you'll get a letter that once a month we do like free developmental group gatherings that you can come to. And you can watch our podcast. That's totally free. That will help you with developmental questions. So there's a lot of freebie stuff out there.
There is.
Yeah.
Like I said, when I went under, again, here I am talking. When I went under the courses, you have free information under the courses. When I went under your private services, there is a link that says free. So there's information under, like a description of the services and everything else. And there's a lot of information you can get just under that. So there is a lot of stuff that you can click on free, and read up all about it. And see.
And I do free consultations too.
Yeah. And it's there's a lot of it you can click on and say, this is something I'm interested in. Look, I'm learning more about it just by reading something free that's out there or whatever else. So it really is a fantastic site. And I would recommend everyone to go out there and at least peruse it. Like I said, you may not use it, but you never know when someone's going to come up to you and go, hey, you know anyone who does this? You'd be like, absolutely. Let me put you on to Charli McBride. So yeah.
I appreciate it. It's been such a pleasure. You and your wife are so fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Do me a favor, don't run away. I'm going to throw you backstage and come talk to you for minutes, but I'm going to shut this one down so everyone else can go to bed or get their day started, depending on where they are. And I will be back to talk to you in a second. So,
okay,
thanks, Charli.
Great. Bye.
All right, everyone, that's the show. Thank you again for coming on. You guys are fantastic. You guys asked really good questions, really good comments. I really do appreciate the fact that you interact so well with my guests all the time. And I really do not mind. I actually really appreciate the fact that you guys pick on me a lot. That's something I've actually come to appreciate very well. If you have any questions at all and you want to reach out to her or you want to reach out to me, and you just don't know how to do it, or you want to get a hold of her and you're just not comfortable with it, and you want me to ask the questions, here's all the information to get a hold of me. Here's my Facebook site. Here's my Twitch site. Here's my YouTube site. Facebook is facebook.com/stuffIneverlearnedfromschoolbook.com. Twitch is twitch.tv/stuffIneverlearned. YouTube is youtube.com/@stuffIneverlearned. So if you're looking for an email address, it is simply stuffineverlearned@gmail.com. So feel free to reach out to me out there as well. I do answer questions. If you have a question about the show, or you want me to ask a question on a show coming up, or ask the past guests about them, shoot me an email. I have no problems reading your questions on the show at all, or reaching back out to past guests to ask them about something that you may have heard in the show that you have more interest in. Feel free to do that. That's not a problem. Next week, I am actually traveling, but I'm actually still going to do a show anyways. So next week, we are going to have on a cryptid hunter. His name is Ray Gooseby. He goes by Goose. His tagline is "Shut Up." So you're going to love it. He's a big old fun guy. You will absolutely love this guy. And if you want other people to experience what kind of shenanigans and squirrel moments we have on here, feel free to like, follow, share. I'd really appreciate it because I would like to continue to grow this community. I really do believe it's beneficial for anyone out there who has questions about paranormal, cryptid, UFO, anything like that, wants to know more about it, just has an interest in it, believes that they need help with it. They can reach out and ask me too. And if I can't answer the question, I have a plethora of people who I can reach out to and say, hey, someone's asking a question. I don't have the answer. Can you please help me with this? I don't have any problems doing that at all. Like I said, this show is not for me. It's for all of you. I am here to help educate everybody. I hope you all take advantage of it. But in the meantime, have a safe week. Much love. Hopefully everybody survived Turkey Day and ate lots and lots and lots and gained 12 pounds. And I found a way to lose it. Other than that, I will see everybody next Monday, 7 p.m. Central, right here with Ray Gooseby about Cryptid Talk. Have a safe week. Much love.